Yeah, you do.
I must eat the biggest to become the biggest.
You eat his foot and he'd go another.
I like that. The first figure of the recording is Alex saying, "I must eat the biggest to become the biggest."
My crew is big and it keeps getting bigger.
Which I think is fitting. I think that's a fitting way to start this campaign.
I don't know about that.
I could have started off way worse.
I don't know if that will fill an apple-shaped hole in your heart.
Take that and stuff that in your booty hole.
Yikes, a Romy.
Right, so bear in mind Will's eating at the moment, so he may be a bit quieter while we do this, but most of you are aware of the formula of how I start sessions by now, by stealing from other DMs that are better than me. So everyone click your token and roll initiative.
Alright, let me get the sheet out.
I was going to say something, but I don't think it should be on camera.
I mean, technically you're not on camera.
I know, but you'd have to edit it out.
Oh. Get the timestamp.
I'll just DM it to your I'll just DM it to you, Helena.
DM it
I
to me.
accidentally opened up Spotify.
Discord. There we go.
Yeah.
Give me a minute. Alright. Disregard it. Okay, hang on. Caitlin burns orphanages too. Okay, that's fine.
Thanks. I'm glad you approve of my hobbies.
It's a good hobby.
I don't approve of your. I'm very disappointed. I'm not mad.
Sky, why did you send that directly to me?
I don't know.
For some reason, you sent that directly to me. You must have something. Hold on, I'm gonna look at your sheet. I bet.
I clicked my icon, so I don't know why.
You've got it on to GM, not public. That's why.
Oh.
There we go. I changed the thing so that now that you are actually.
Holy shit, that's a low initiative.
How do you have a -1 to your initiative?
By
Very
dumping
easily.
decks?
Yes, by dumping decks. That's why. Right. So before we go through the questions, just a very, very, very brief overview of what this campaign is. So this is the third in the Zion saga of campaigns, I guess is the way of putting it. This takes place on the home of the forgeborn, Galataya, known as the Heart of Iron, in the Collider system in which these planets are located. And this campaign is all about exploring what that world looks like and the struggles upon that world. What we know about that world is that the forgeborn live there in isolated, walled-off cities. The world itself is gigantic. It's about 4 times the size of our planet, and has a lot of landmass. It does have some seas, but a lot of it is landmass. In fact, if only there was a way for us to know what it looked like. Oh, there we go. Smooth transition.
Actual colors!
Actual colors! Oh, no. So, yes, this is what the map of the world of Galatea looks like. All those little places that you can see that like forts, those are walled-off cities that exist to keep the people on the planet having a place to stay. Everywhere that doesn't have one of those is just open territory. It's free real estate. This whole campaign is just for that. All of it. Because it is free real estate. In that anyone can claim any land that they can hold themselves and build a settlement on, as long as they agree to partner with the leader of the Forgeborn, known as the Iron Empress, and to donate whatever resources they gain from that settlement. Half of that has to go to the Iron Empress. They need to bow to the Iron Empress, and they need to agree to work with the Forgeborn. None of this double-crossing shit. You do that, we'll fucking stop sending you money, we'll stop sending you supplies, you're fucked. So, if someone finds a piece of land, they are within their right to claim that land as their own. But then they need to defend it, they need to build the settlement on it. The governing bodies of Galatea will provide money and material to help, but they have to defend it themselves.
I have found this piece of land.
That's actually already settled, so that's not going to work.
You can't prove that.
Yes, it is, because that's where the Iron Empress lives.
They can't prove that they were already there.
Yeah, actually they can, because they have historical records of the founding of Iron.
They were forged?
No, they weren't.
But what if we burn
Absolutely were.
But I digress. Each of these settlements are places where people live, people build up. The world itself is very, very rich in iron ores, in gems, in very, very hard to get materials. The trees themselves on Galatea run with arcane veins. So everything on Galatea is worth a lot of money. However, Galatea is also filled with horrific monsters that will kill you. The actual land of Galatea itself is going against you. From the vines that cover the grassland floors of the jungles, to the trees themselves in some situations, to the bushes that you're walking through. A good percentage, about 90% of that wants to kill you. And all the wildlife on Galatea is either prey for something else, or wants to murder fucking everything. So, to take a settlement is very hard. Yes. To take a settlement and make it your own is very, 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 very hard. In the terms of law, when the Mannerborn first became best buddy friends with the Forgeborn, the Mannerborn, who have a great military made up of a lot of psionics, the people that founded the Justicar Order in the Zion setting, led a giant military campaign to try and get rid of the monsters on Galatea called the Genocide Crusade, and yeah, it didn't work out. They got a lot of land, and they took some of the settlements and managed to build out some of the settlements bigger than they were before, but by no means did they win. And then a big war happened called the Ender War, where creatures from the Void came through, and this seemed to stir up the beasts of Galatea and made horrific creatures that were already monstrous and wanting to wipe out all life even worse. So it's a very, very dangerous time. Your characters are on Galatea. You're on the central city, the heart of Galatea, known as Iron's Will. This is where the Iron Empress dwells. This is the central hub of the entire world. This is the biggest settlement that the Forgeborn have. This is about roughly the size of the United States. So think of a gigantic city with multiple districts, and each of those districts is essentially a state from the US. So that's how big Iron's Will is. That's where your characters are. Your characters, for one reason or another, have found or been sent an advertisement by an individual that is looking for people to join their Surveyor Brigade. A Surveyor Brigade is people that the Iron Empress and the governing bodies of Galatea pay to go and take land, or have struck a bargain deal with the government to go take land, have that land be their land, but then be in agreement with the Iron Empress that they get half of their resources. The individual in question, Maldrich Ironblood Caldwin, is a well-known surveyor who has been doing this for years. They helped found some of the most recent outposts and some of the actual walled cities and conclaves. They don't have any land to themselves, however. They've always helped other people take it. They put out a job offer, I guess is the way of putting it, stating that they have a piece of land, they've laid claim to that piece of land. However, when trying to take that piece of land, they require more people, they require more surveyors. So for one reason or another, each one of your characters have read this and went, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna join this surveyor brigade, and I'm gonna go and help take that. You're gonna get paid a lot of money, but it's gonna take a long time. It's gonna take months or years of your life to build this settlement and make it to a point where you'll actually get cashed out, essentially. But that's the basis of it. I've helped to buy you a little bit of time to think of questions if people didn't have questions. Whenever we go through people who say their questions, what I would like you to do as well is just tell me the name of the character that you're playing and something like just a basic piece of information about them. I don't want the whole story. I just want their name and the basic piece of information. Then you can ask a question to any of the other players. You can ask a question to myself as well. And every player has to answer honestly, but if they feel it's something that would be spoilers, again, you don't have to answer that completely. If it's all completely spoilers, like you can say nothing, that person will get to ask you another question, though. I'm going to institute that. Anyway, so, Tara, you have rolled very high. You've rolled a 21.
Mm-hmm.
What is your character's name and a fact about them?
My character's name is Balara, and she has hair.
That's true. That's a fact. She does in fact have hair.
Nothing wrong.
Yeah.
You set the bar far too low on what counts as a fact early on.
Yeah.
I can give more if you want.
Yeah. Give us something a little bit more. Give us a teaser of how your character is.
She has feetsies.
Thank you, Connor. She has feetsies. Balara is a mana-born Psi-mage that is native to the world of Galatea. So infer from that what you will based on what Helena just told us about the world.
Yeah. So, you may now ask myself or any of the other players one question.
All right, I have a question. Okay. Let me roll for that, actually.
Who are we bullying?
I have a question then for you, Helena. Is there a significance to the flower that our stupid, sexy Warpling wears?
Yes, there is in fact. So the very base significance that I will say to you that is non-spoilery is the character is a class type of a ranger, and based on the new optional rules for a ranger can have a druidic focus to help cast their spells. And Hera, the ranger Warpling that's going to be part of your brigade, has a flower from their homeworld. All the Warplings in this setting come from a world called Hyperion that exists right next to a gigantic rip in space that bleeds psionic energy. So the very nature of that world, the plants have psionic energy running through it. So that's how I themed that they can do their spells, because the plant itself is innately magical because of that psionic energy.
Alrighty.
Neat.
Kara, it is now your turn, so please tell me your character's name, an interesting fact about them other than the fact they have hair, and you then may ask your question.
No, we need to discern if they're bold or not.
No.
My character's name is Kelty Inverness. Interesting fact about them is their call sign is Star Puppy, because during a mission, a phase dog literally appeared in their cockpit, and they don't know how it happened. It just phased in there.
Just happened.
So
Sometimes happens.
So that's how they earned their call sign.
Yeah.
My question, as I stated earlier in the call, is to Caitlin.
Damn you.
As everybody here knows, Carla is extremely devoted to her kids.
Oh no.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, let's go.
What does Carla do for herself as far as what she herself find enjoyment in outside of her devotion to her kids?
She likes cooking, she likes exploring, she likes reading, watching animals.
I actually
Stuff
thought
like
you
that.
were gonna say watching anime there for a second.
I honestly thought the same.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean,
That would have been hype, not gonna lie.
I mean, animals are the fantasy equivalent of anime. Right?
Okay. If Kalki is done now, right, it is Will's turn. Will, the name of your character, a fun or interesting fact about them, and then you may ask your question to whomever you wish to.
Okay, my character, his name is Sakar. He is, as you can see, very green. He is in fact an Alfor. This setting's equivalent of the Gith. A fun fact about him, as you can tell based on his appearance, he is a pirate, and he is the serious fact, he is only here for the money.
Yeah, I mean that. Like I indicated, the job takes a very long time. It could take up to years of your life. However, you get big money. You get big money for doing that. You get, like, I'm talking, you do the one job, you survive long enough, you're gonna be a millionaire kind of deal. So it's a way to earn that hard dough.
Big Penny.
What the fuck is that?
Big Penny. Name of the Empress.
We're gonna kill the
And-
Empress and take the
I'm
castle.
gonna do something fun to determine who I ask my dumb, inane question to.
I feel like dice roll is gonna happen.
3 is Kara.
Okay.
I remember nothing about your character because we haven't talked to them yet. But if they were just out of the blue given the ability to use the wish spell, they can make anything happen, what would they use it on? Basically, you just get a genie with one wish. What do you use it on?
It's a good question.
That is a good question.
I like the dumb, introspective ones.
Is the answer to not be portrayed by what Ronda Rousey in a?
It's
in a
not
movie?
fucking Ronda Rousey. Shut the fuck up. I would say the answer would differ. Because they are battling what's inside them, so they would attempt to wish for polar opposites of things at the same time. So
Interesting.
they would want the opposites of what they would also want. So, like, they would want, without being able to spoil it, I can't say what it is they would want.
I
That's
know.
fair.
I know your story, and I would say your wish is to go home and to never go home again.
Exactly.
All right, that's fair. I will accept it's kind of a spoiler, so here's a vague as shit answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't quite word it, but Hex helped with that.
Yeah, that's the best. Knowing your story, because obviously I've okayed all your stories. Knowing your story, I would say, based on what I think you want to say. I know what you want to say but can't say. But I think the best way of saying it is they want to go home. They also want to never go home again.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, wonderful. So we know about Sakar. It is now the big Gordito's turn himself.
Aha!
The biggest tortilla. So I am, for our one fan watching, I am obviously the man who made Addicts.
Yeah.
But my character this time around, very different take. His name is full name redacted. Name known to party shall be Hydra. And he is a Soulstorm elf, a very unique elf that basically crawled up inside the Void's butthole and lives there for funsies.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, so now you may ask your question.
My question, I already said it, it's going to be to you, Caitlin.
I am bullied.
So,
You're not
some
bullied.
background information to this. I know that Carla had a lot of kids and is essentially going through a somewhat like empty nest syndrome kind of deal.
Yeah.
However, it's also a huge thing, and you can't deny it because it's true as hell. Every parent has a favorite child.
I thought about this.
Oh,
So-
let's go.
I love
Caitlin.
this question.
So, Caitlin, who's Carla's least favorite child?
Oh! The heel turn right at the end!
Give me a minute here. This one's hard.
The best part of this was if my role had come up as Caitlin, that's what I was going to ask too.
The brain
My
cell
guess
is
would be
still
the-
being shed.
My guess would be the ones she cut that aren't interesting enough.
No. I cut some because Hex was like, okay, you can have this many. I'm
you
like,
had,
oh
you
yeah.
had way too many else.
And then
I
like,
know, I'm
and then
kidding,
like Hex
Caitlin.
was like, oh yeah, you can't have a Medusa. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's fine.
Of the-
Yeah, I can just
of
cut
the
them
ones that you
myself.
actually have that are in canon in here, which is your least favorite?
Honestly, this might give Hex ideas, but
Kill them all except for the least favorite.
The
It's gonna-
Iron Forge.
it's gonna be Dirk.
Oh, poor Dirk! Oh no! So
Well, no,
Dirk's
no,
the only child to survive.
No,
Push
but no.
Dirk up the ranking.
Here's the thing: she still loves Dirk, but I picture it as he started working for corporates, and we know how some of the corporates have been acting.
She named him.
I named all the kids.
No.
You just gave Dirk the name you hated. You're like, I hate Dirk.
No. Okay, Dirk was the one I pictured as a human, and I named Dirk after Dirk from the Jungle Book one shot we did because that's who Carla connected with.
Yeah.
And then it just like, okay, this is his personality. I think because it came to me as an idea, and I imagine like he started working for like this corporation, and word's been getting back to her about some of the not so great shit he's doing.
Okay.
And like it's a situation of she loves all her kids, but this isn't how she raised her son.
Yeah, that may be
Okay.
good. But back to the bite when you asked.
I know it probably is.
But actually, Caitlin, it is your turn. So tell us the name of your character, one interesting fact, and then you may ask your question.
This is I'm playing Carla. She is a Luxodon, which is could be really interesting to play in this campaign. And she is mom. We'll
She
just
is
put
mom.
it like that.
Yeah.
She is mom. But I was actually gonna ask
What's
Tara
the
a question.
interesting fact about her, though?
Oh, the interesting fact.
She's a mom.
She's got a lot of tattoos.
Interesting fact.
Yeah, but we already knew that.
Wolf energy.
Well, no. Like I told you, but like I've fully thought out all of these tattoos.
What are
From-
they?
From the people who brought you Big Tall Vampire Mummy, I present to you Big Tall Elephant Mummy.
That's basically what's going to probably happen.
She has an extra limb that she can use for many purposes.
Oh no.
I mean, so does that guy from The Boys, but he doesn't keep talking about it.
Oh no.
But I was actually going to ask Tara a question.
Oh no.
Well, what made you want to go with a character with like a more royal militaristic background?
Like half the characters I've made are from a nobility background.
Well, I know they are, but like, what made you decide to do it this time around? Was it from a plot that it fit in, or something else?
I kind of just like the nobility angle for the most part, but I think that the setting itself made me think of like I guess like Mandalorian sort of stuff. So I was like, I kind of want to have a character that's taken inspiration from that sort of character type, but fit it into a different, like, more fantasy setting. And so that's kind of what I took and ran with for Balara. Is that like fighting for a noble house because it's just what you do.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it was a really, really good take.
It is.
I've said it before. It helped me come to a lot of ideas of how I want Galatayan society to run. Galatayan society is essentially when people take land and make that agreement with the Iron Empress. Over time, those people become really powerful and they build up their household. And there are a series of households that you'll learn about that are both of forgeborn descent and non-forgeborn descent that have become powerhouses in the Galatayan government because of just how much that they've done, how much honor and land they've acquired. And that might come into the story as a bit of a power play of different houses and what they're vying for on a world full of fantastic resources, but maybe with people that don't want to share those resources with everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, right.
Yeah, I really like your idea. I was just curious as to why this time.
I mean, I don't know that if I ever know the reason why so much.
I mean, you don't have to. I just always like to ask because I like to know like different people's mindsets and how they can
And just
create
like
a character.
Caitlin has picked her questions for the next 5 weeks.
Yeah. Right, Skylar, it is your turn. Please tell me the name of your character, one interesting fact about them, and then you may ask your question to whomever you wish to ask.
My character's name is Hanukkah, and they're a very soft-spoken type of character. They're basically interested in getting money, in regards to helping, she's basically hoping to get money in regards to helping her family and such like that.
Yes, Team Dollar Bill, y'all.
Yeah. So fun fact, I guess she is very good at embroidery and does her own clothing and designs.
Oh, nice.
So, trying to find a good question. Who hasn't been asked proper questions?
I mean, Alex hasn't technically been asked a question.
No one asked.
Will hasn't.
Will hasn't been asked a question.
Yeah, I was saying, no one asks me questions because I already lay everything out on the table like session 1.
The nonsense that's going to come out of my mouth if they ask me something.
Will, what would you say your character's best attribute is?
That's a good question.
It's also a difficult one because I don't make characters with best attributes. I make
My
make
best
very
attribute is
flawed
running away.
the closest thing to a best-natured character I've made is Lamray.
No, Davos.
Davos to an extent.
Lamray is our god.
I will say Sakar's actual best quality, he does legitimately care about the plight of his people. He is legitimately invested in trying to help the Alfor race. So he's not a total selfish piece of shit.
Yeah. So the Alpha race, the GIF variant in this world, they're still in dire straits. They for a long time were the slaves of the Illithids, as many races were in the Collider system. But they are the ones that kind of almost suffered the most because They were the first ones that were made slaves. The homeworld of the Illithids and the Alpha Obrex was really originally the Alpha's homeworld. The Alphas were the first ones to evolve to sentiency on that world, and it was really kind of their world. It was just that the Illithids kind of become predators and evolved predatory natures to try to bring them down. And sadly, even after the big slavery war was over, no one reinstated power to the Alpha. So even now, many wars later, the Alpha aren't in charge of their own planet. And the Illithids still technically are the ruling, governing body. So it's still a pretty shit situation, you know. Imagine, you know, living in a land where the people that came into that land, took over it, are still in charge, and you're just there like, hold on, you were here a long time before you guys. Yeah. Something.
Oh. I don't know how I feel about that one.
That's not the one I was thinking of. I
know the one you
The
were
timing
thinking
of this is very awkward.
Yeah, but yeah, no, the timing is very awkward.
That's why it was topical.
Yeah. Anyway, so we have now said we've done all our questions. I hope that's got everyone's mind in. This first episode, I'm just keeping the title very simple, and that's Iron Blood. Yeah, I can see someone's already decided to add the id really, really small. So, we will be going to the first map, and I will be telling you a little bit about everything.
I just did the obligatory. What's that? What's that?
What's that? What's that?
What's that?
Don't
Why,
worry.
why are there so many grills?
That's our bowl of Mountain Dew.
Yeah, that's our Mountain Dew supply.
Why are there so many grills, and where are my centrists to grill on them?
Well, it was the Eat the Rich campaign. Where's the rich?
But right, so
The guy named Rich.
this
Accept it.
location that you're seeing right now is the location that all your characters are going to start on. This is part of what is called the Surveyor's District. The Surveyor's District in Iron Will is a area exactly where people who want to become surveyors go to be assessed whether or not they can become surveyors, or where surveyors go. This is like kind of their own hood, essentially, their place to hang out, their place to do whatever they want to do. They have their own bars. They have their own institutions there, places that only they can go to, essentially. And this is where your characters are going to arrive, because when you applied to become part of the Iron Blood Brigade, you were told that you need to come to the Surveyor's District on this day and go to the main surveyor building to meet with your possible employer, who is going to run you through a few questions and essentially provide you an interview of whether or not they think that you are, you're good enough for the job. So now, I was going to actually ask you to roll initiative, but I decided that's not fun and that I should pick on people. So I'm going to roll a d6.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Euthanize me, yeah?
So Will,
I do it.
I've rolled a d6, and you are number 5 in the position, so you may bring your character, Sakar, on, and you may do as you wish. So, Sakar, this right down here is like a main road, so you're welcome to start in the main road, and go wherever you wish, and you can do some investigations. I know you were very interested in what the fuck is that, so this is your chance to maybe go and look at what the fuck is that.
I go and look. What the fuck is this?
Right. So, you have come over. Roll me an investigation, please.
Oh boy, finally, I made a character with intelligence.
That's really good. Can you please provide me with the knowledge of what languages your character speaks?
Common and Alfor, apparently.
Common and Alfor. Okay, so you come. You're seeing the Surveyor District. It's full of a series of buildings. This is kind of the direction that you know you're supposed to go. And your eye has been drawn to this, and for good reason, because this right here is a giant stone tablet, probably standing at about 40 feet tall. It seems to be made of like a very weird steel kind of, almost as if it's been pulled out of the ground, but it looks like steel, but it feels like a mineral and not an ore, so it's very strange. Right around it is a series of candles, and to one side there is a very old style shield and a very old style spear. Right in front of it is a gigantic fountain. This fountain seems to have two serpentine dragon-like creatures embossed into it that seem to be coming up around it and meeting each other head on. The water, as you can see, inside of the fountain is a strange kind of greenish. You would notice that on the back in the giant obelisk, there is loads and loads of writing in glowing hieroglyphs. But when you look at it, you realize this is not a language that you know. You cannot defer what is written on it.
I never learned to read.
You don't have romance
fucking
novels. You
read.
can't learn to read.
Damn. What am I gonna do wrong?
Your character's quite intelligent. Roll me either a history or a straight intelligence. If your history is proficient, go with history. If you're not, just go straight intelligence. You don't know. It could be some kind of art, or it could be some kind of art thing to you. It could be, I don't know, this could be like just a statue. This could be like to remember someone. You're not quite sure at the moment. It looks really weird. It's very much, it's very forgeborn. You can tell that. It kind of just screams the kind of what they do and what they're interested in.
Just squints at a damn forgeborn in their modern art.
Essentially. Kara, I have rolled the d6, and fate has decided that you are now to appear on the scene as well.
That's a damn dirty lie.
I don't give a fuck!
I would get out of whatever transport dropped me off here, and I would make my way off of the street, and I'd look around, see Hulk's son over there.
Yes, that's exactly the reference I was making with the name.
I figured it was. And I look around at the strange place because I knew why I was being brought here, but having never actually been here, I was intrigued by what the place actually looked like. So I'd be just as confused by what's in front of me as I'm sure anyone who would take an interest by it would be.
Okay, so do me an investigation roll.
Okay.
Okay, can you tell me what languages does Kelty know?
I don't remember what race this is.
You're a Scion, I believe.
Well, I know that. It's common and Irulan.
Okay, this is neither common nor Irulan. Do you either roll me an intelligence or a history? If you have proficiency in history, go for history. But roll me it at advantage. Okay, something in your background, perhaps something that you did as a profession, kind of gives you an eye of what this might be. You see a giant obelisk in the middle of an area where people who are surveyors essentially live and dwell and have fun, and you see that there are candles next to it, and it's right next to a fountain, and there seems to be a lot of writing on it. you kind of just with your intelligence, with your intelligence and with your knowledge of things from what you used to do, you can tell why you can't read what's written on the obelisk. This is obviously a memorial. This is memorial either to a person, to a battle, to a people. You're not quite sure exactly what because you cannot read it, but you know this is a memorial.
Okay. I look over at Sakar and ask him if he is also here for the surveyors.
I am, but I hardly have any idea where I'm supposed to be going.
To be honest with you, I am just as clueless. I mean, we can attempt to check out these rooms, maybe see if anybody is around that can guide us to where we're supposed to go.
Right. So as that kind of mutual working together has been sorted out, you hear the big thumps of a elephant on the scene. So, Caitlin, you have been chosen by the dice to appear. I'm actually really proud of the fact that I've not rolled the same one twice. So, Caitlin, please drag in your character and you can join the party.
Okay, where's the entrance? Over here, you said?
This is a road. That's a road.
Oh, that's a road, okay.
So you can start anywhere.
Doo-doo.
I like making references only half the party gets.
Yeah, it's fun. Because that wasn't me just mumbling my words. No, I was actually making a joke reference there, and I appreciate that only 3 people here can get it. But that joke is only for those 3 people.
Carla will walk in muttering, I had hoped to see Ren when I first got here, but no luck so far. That's fine. Let's meet the crew, I suppose. And she looks and at what type of GIF is Shakar?
You usually can't tell a type of GIF just by looking.
That's racist.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm just genuinely asking. There might be different features. I don't know.
No. I'm just giving a genuine answer. I'm not trying
Oh
to
no,
say...
I meant these 2 idiots. How often would you see GIF though?
GIF they're not uncommon. There's quite a lot of them. So it's not
More than you see Loxodon.
Yeah, way.
Yeah, none of you. None of you would have seen Loxodon.
Yeah, Loxodon. You have no idea what this is. You may have heard story about. Oh, there's people that live on somewhere I've seen that are like elephant people, but you've never actually met a Loxodon. Most of you think they're just fucking myth. But yeah, you generally can't. GIF alpha. They're not uncommon, but they're not like everywhere. But you would have at least ran into several among your lifetime. So.
Oh, okay. I figured, but I wanted to be sure.
No, that's fine.
She'll look at the 2 of them and go, "Is this where we're supposed to meet for the oh Lord, what's the brigade? The Iron Blood Brigade?"
I look over at Sakar and like, what the hell is she?
I didn't know that elephants could speak on this world.
I didn't know elephants could speak.
She'll give them both a look. Oh, this is. My name is Carla. I do speak. I'm not exactly an elephant. Not sure what I am, but here we are. Is this where we meet for the Iron Blood Brigade?
We think so?
Oh, that's good then. My name is Carla.
as the introduction starts, I fucking jinxed myself and I rolled all the same.
Yeah,
as I
you
before.
did.
It is now time for the Soulstorm Elf to appear on the scene, though.
He's coming in from this side.
Oh, dangerous.
The elf, formerly known as
He
Hydra.
comes running headfirst into traffic.
Yeah. No, Hydra basically, with his kimonos, looks like he's gliding as he walks. Very swiftly and with purpose. And then, it's true, if you can dodge a car, you can dodge a ball. He'll take notice of the four people, but he'll immediately be drawn to the monument. And we'll actually probably just walk right past them to the monument.
Ooh.
And to study it.
I like that. So roll me an investigation.
Oh, that's not one.
Okay.
I can actually read the language. Pretty sure.
Yeah, what languages can you read?
I read a lot.
Yes, you can. So you kind of... People get in your way as you're trying to move through them, so you can't fully get it. But when you get there, you do instantly recognize that on the obelisk at the back, that 100% is Laslian. It's a language of one of the elven races is on there. So you instantly know that you can actually read that.
What Hydra will do is he'll pull out a book with a rather colorful book. It's leather but colorful. He dyed it. And he'll pull out of his kimono as well a pen with a flower on it, and will begin to jot down these runes. And these, not the rune, but like the writing essentially. And we'll draw like a little brick in the diary to showcase it. I do have to ask, how tall are these three people?
Yes, right. Let's tell you what. While we're here, let's get some descriptions going then, shall we? So one at a time. Tell me a little bit about what your character's wearing. What do they look like in that sense? So I'm going to do it in the order that you came in. So Sakar, you were first. So tell me, what is your character wearing? Like we can see your character's art. I will do the little zoom in.
The zoom. Do the zoomies.
We can do the zoomies, but just sell it to us. What does your character look like? How tall are they? What is their frame like? Their build?
So, you can obviously see he has a pirate aesthetic going on. He's kind of... He's underneath the little pirate coat, though. He has what is very visibly some very heavy, dense armor. Has long black hair kind of tied back up into a ponytail with a rather ragged bandana. He also just has the general vibe of someone who just hasn't slept in weeks.
Huh?
I see that's the little piece of you that you put in your character.
That's the will difference.
The will difference.
Yeah, Will hasn't slept in months, let alone weeks.
Sleep is a luxury I cannot afford. Literally. He is height-wise. He would be about 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah.
And build-wise, he's more muscle than he is lean, but he's more of an average build. He's not really lean or muscular one way or the other, but it leans more to the side of strength. As for weapons, you can see he's got a rifle, as well as a sword and shield, just hanging off of his side.
Sword and shield with the power of gun.
So, Kelty, this is what you look like, but just give us a bit more
Ronda Rousey.
Yes, Ronda Rousey.
It is not Ronda Rousey.
So give us a bit of a description of what you look like, and like a bit about your frame, maybe about your height, so that we can see who's taller and we can work out the difference.
Okay,
Call me crazy. I think Carla is going to be the tallest.
what we don't know is that she's a 3 foot tall Loxodon.
That would be hilarious.
Cool Baba, the little elephant.
Due to their military training, they got like the whole strong, forceful, stick up their ass stance to them. They actually try to personality wise, they try to like go against a lot of that, but they try and keep at least the posture and whatnot and appearance of the strong, forceful, like no nonsense bravado to them. Their hair is dirty blonde. It's braided. It's rather messy. They're about 5'10", 5'11", about 138. They arrived in their flight suit for story purposes. Yeah.
Well, then that leaves the elephant in the room.
Oh my god.
Carla is wearing she is 7 feet 9 inches. She's 350 pounds, so she thick girl. She thick.
Damn, she's thick.
But she's wearing like a bit of a flowing t-shirt, but it is fitted. And like if you looked at her arms, you could see like a bit of tattoo on each arm.
Describe them.
On the left is a tiny fairy lifting up a tree, grinning wildly. And on the right is a picture of an iron forge surrounded by flowers, with like an elephant trunk placing a flower crown on their head.
So then, Hydra, you're the one that inquired about the heights of people, but how do you look, Mister? I don't know. I feel like I've seen that before, but I haven't.
Totally not fan art that's been ripped off of someone.
None of this is.
Then, this might be the character that's gotten closest to height in Carla. He is 7'5".
Ooh.
The tall duo.
Yeah, he is very, very, almost unhealthily skinny. He is very wiry, very slender, almost starved in terms of like frame. He is, despite being 7'5", he is just over 200 pounds.
You're what I refer to as a lanky cunt.
Yeah, it's mostly, that's not to say he isn't strong or capable, it's just that's how his appearance is.
Yeah.
He has, the first things you probably notice about him is that he has very green skin, just like another friend of ours here, the Alfer. But his hair is white with like a little bit of green, almost like a green shading, green mist over the white of it. But his eyes have black rings around them and have black tear marks going down, like all the way down his cheeks. Almost if he's crying black goo. His lips and his fingernail also have the same color black. And his eyes grow a deep green. Despite this, though, he wears a very colorful set of kimonos. With like blues and pinks and a specific flower. In fact, the same type of flower that he uses that's part of his pen pattern on it. And he has two totally not Japanese-style swords on his waist.
Yeah, they're Korean.
Totally not Japanese style.
Yeah,
they're Korean-styled weapons.
yes, clearly. That is our friend here, the Soulstorm Elf, the Hydra.
Okay. So yes, you were requesting the information of people's heights. You have the people's heights. is there anything you want to do with that information? Now knowing that
so I imagine that as he's writing this, because of the fact that he probably had to get through specifically this dude, he probably kind of like towered over Sakar as he tried to push past him, and then he would probably be repeating like I imagine as he's writing down and kind of drawing the square, the rectangle, the obelisk, essentially, as he writes down what's on it. I imagine he'd be repeating exactly what it says over and over and over again.
Okay, well, I will tell you what it does say. It says on there, it basically says, "Here stands a monument to those who fell in the crusade in hopes of reclaiming this world. Let us not forget the bloodshed of our brothers. Let us not forget when the Mannerborn came." And this is all written in the language of the Mannerborn. Can
you just send that to me on Discord later? And then I will.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I can do that, not a problem. It might be a little bit different because I have it actually typed up on notes, but that was just me doing verbatim. But that's the point. But I will send you the exact wording of it so that you know.
He'll be literally saying that phrase over and over and over again in the language as he jots it down and draws it. And then when
real quick, does Hydra write it down in the language it's written in?
Yes, in the language it's written in. He is writing it down in this colorful floral diary that he has as well.
Okay.
And is he saying it in the language, or is he translating?
Yes, he's saying it in the language because he knows the language and he will not translate it.
Okay.
He might translate it for people that are curious, but he won't.
Yeah.
He's not translating it himself.
Okay.
Yeah, since Carla is taller, she's gonna peek over his shoulder.
What you would see... So I imagine it's on probably like the right page. So on the left page, I don't know what languages you speak.
She speaks Common and Sign Language. Well, she doesn't speak Sign Language. God damn it.
You said it, not us.
Well...
So what you'll see is you'll see on one page a whole bunch of notes in literally a ton of different languages. You'll see some notes in Common, as well as some in what you may be able to presume is Elvish. But then you'll see the exact same like writing style as what's on this monument and on the other page as well, on the other side where he's drawing it. But then also, like, some languages you've probably never seen or heard spoken in your time.
Yeah.
And he will continue muttering that over and over and over again as you watch him intently, almost like he's like literally copying it verbatim from what it's saying. Once he finishes that, though, he'll basically snap the book shut and put it into his kimono, put the pen back in the other side as well. And then we'll turn around and act as if he never even noticed you guys there, and we'll just be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Are you those that are curious about the cultural activities? Monumental things like this are important to keep sacred."
I'm here for the Iron Blood Brigade.
I'm there for that too, but what gathered all of you? Curiosity, clearly, right?
Well, this is just the first place I reached, in all honesty. I can't read a lick of what that says.
Yeah, you seem to be able to understand it. Do you know what it said?
Oh, of course, yes, of course I know what it says. It's pretty simple language once you pick it up. It's a lot like some of the other tongues around the planets, the systems. Yes. And he will pull back out the book and will read it in its actual language without translating it.
Who was playing with the fucking like distance thing?
Very good.
And then he turns and looks back at Kelty and is just like, "Does that clear things up for you a bit?"
Pretty good.
Could you translate it to Common?
Oh, Oh! I thought you just couldn't read.
I can read. Also, what is his reaction to Carla? Because I imagine even he hasn't seen someone like Carla.
I don't know. What is the reaction of a man that has seen nightmare fuel to seeing a talking elephant?
He just kind of smiles at Carly. He literally doesn't care. Like, he cares he's a new person, but like it's not like a shock thing. He'll turn and
Thank you. Carla's so happy with you.
he turns to her immediately and is like, "Oh yes, I will. I can change it to common for you. Give me just a second, and we'll read out. This is for our fallen brethren who helped us try and take back Galatea to make a home in this land. They never be forgotten, and we shall carry their spirits with us. Essentially,
yeah, it's essentially a war memorial. It's marking down the remembrance of the Manor-born when they came to Galatea and their attempt to help the forgeborn rid the world of the beasts. It's a war memorial to the Manor-born that died, essentially.
Yeah.
and once he reads that out in common, he'll close the book again and will say, "It's a truly precious artifact, a huge part of Galatean culture. I mean, to all forgeborn clearly, but for this planet in particular, this piece of art is eternal."
It's so sad yet beautiful.
And on that note, as we're talking about the forgeborn, and I rolled the dice, and I didn't realize it was on GM, I have rolled odds, which is for Tara to appear. So Tara, please make your character's presence known, which makes sense since they're just talking about Manor-born anyway.
Oh boy! All right.
Man, our writers for this season are way better than I gave them credit for.
Bitch.
Coming in from the left side.
Same!
Because I think everybody came in from the left side, so for some reason I assume that's the side we're
No,
coming
everyone
from.
came in from the front. I came from the left.
I'm already liking where this is going.
In the distance, I see Iron Man.
Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun.
In the distance, you would see. I'll give my description of my character because we did that for everyone else
Yes,
as
please
well.
do.
Yeah. So the art is not going to be completely accurate to what I envisioned for the character, but that is a-okay. So Balara is she's an elf. You can see that from her pointy ears and kind of like more nimble body. She has probably more reddish hair. It's like a strawberry blonde hair. Her skin is very slightly tanned with kind of a glistening, glowing complexion that you probably would associate with the more angelic aspects of commercials, skincare commercials.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybe it's just bullshit.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Yeah.
Maybe it's depression.
She's got on. She's wearing a full body suit that has padding. It's very form-fitting, so as to allow her movements. On either side, there is a sigil, which is a black rose that is bleeding, and it's wrapped in a veil of flaming wings. She has this same symbol tattooed on her neck, and you can see from the way she's walking, she has hair over one of her eyes. But if you were to look closely enough, you could see that eye is still healing from a bruise.
Damn it, Alex! Why'd you beat her?
Not again.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Following closely behind her is a construct that I'm just going to say is about that, minus the hair and the human skin.
Yeah.
I imagine that's what it was when you jumped into it.
That's what it looks like when she's in it, yeah.
Yeah. Like, when you say construct, it's mechanical, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's all right.
All
I
right.
figured, but like you can have magical constructs and everything, so
I see all of the people gathering here. Do I know which building I need to go to?
You actually would know this district completely because you've been here before. You very much are aware that this is did I have that? Yeah, I did. This is a war memorial to the Mannerborn of who participated in the Genocide Crusade. You know for a fact that this room here, this whole building here, is the Surveyor Registry Office. You would know that this here is the Surveyor's Bar. So the only people that are surveyors or becoming surveyors are allowed entrance. Anyone can really go into this building here. The building over in the corner, that is the Surveyor's Personal Blacksmith. So you may only enter there again if you are a surveyor. And here, you would know, is a temple to the huntsmith goddess Valkyria.
Alrighty. Balara will see the people and then turn and start walking this way.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Carla's gonna call out. Excuse me, miss. You seem to know where you're going. We're looking for where the Iron Blood Brigade's supposed to meet up.
You're looking for the registry,
I suppose.
and she'd just point forward and be like, that building.
So I can see her emblem, right?
Roll me a perception check. He is quite big on the side. Oh, yeah, you see it.
That's great.
Yeah, you see it.
Would I, in my studies of Galatea and potentially the noble houses on it, would I know what that symbol means?
Roll me a history check.
Oh, good. I didn't stat this one.
Actually, you do. You 110% know that is the house sigil of House Indicea. A very, very well-known Huntress house filled with nobility. And the matriarch of this house is what is known as the Grand Huntress of Galatea. So what that means is a Grand Huntress is basically the person that is believed to be the best of the best of the best. So this is the person that has been decided, crowned by the Iron Empress themselves to be the best hunter on this entire world. And you know the matriarch of that house is the one that currently bears this title. So the moment you see that and you remember, you instantly know this person has to be something big. Because the only people that are allowed to bear that are individuals from that house, or retainers, or people in service to that house.
Okay.
So that imagine you see like essentially from what you know, it's like essentially seeing a big celebrity is what you're seeing.
Okay. Hydra would actually very quickly sprint over to her and call out, is it Indicia?
Indica.
Indica.
My bad.
You're fine.
Lady Indica.
Balara would kind of turn very slowly so as to not have her hair move out of the way of her eye.
He'll run it. He'll basically run up. How tall is your character?
She's 5'11".
Oh god. He'll basically immediately walk up and as he towers over you, will kneel down. Well, essentially crouch down.
Oh,
And
Carla's just gonna say, "Honey, get off the floor. You don't know how clean this place is. Get up."
He's just like, its cleanliness doesn't matter per se. It's are you to be joining us? And he'll basically be examining you said it's also on your chest or whatever, arm?
My neck.
Well, you had a tattoo of it, but you also had a...
Okay, so the sigil is on either arm.
Okay.
Either, like, shoulder.
He'll basically take his finger and, like, outline the symbol with it. And
her eye twitches slightly.
Weird flex, but okay.
And he's basically just like... Oh, let me see this picture. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And he'll basically be like, the symbology here is incredible. I don't know who designed it, but it must have a depth of meaning. I'm sorry. We are also going to be joining. If you're a part of the Iron Blooded Brigade, perhaps you might be someone very worthwhile to get to know for my own reasons, of course. But I would be honored to have someone from House Indica with you.
And what reasons would that be?
My own? Oh, well, that's rather simple. And his general, like, I want to say soft yet creepy smile turns into like a very serious, like a very stern look as he like glares up into her eyes, taking his eyes off her thing, and basically is just like, the insural of our survival, obviously.
Right. You were curious about the symbology of this symbol?
Yes. I'm very curious about it.
I'm afraid it's only known to members of the house.
Ah,
It's a secret we like to keep. With each generation, we add a new part to it.
wonderful. Very beautiful, very perfect.
That sounds. It really is rather well done.
Goals. No,
It should be. Otherwise, we wouldn't be presentable.
I have some tattoos of my own. I really appreciate the work done there.
yes.
Right. So, as this wonderful event's going on, as we're learning about about the finer points of someone's household, it's about time that we bring on the last player in this little game. So, Sky, please drag your character onto wherever they want to come in from.
Alright,
Do you remember how to do it, hon?
let me see how I...
I'm gonna move more ramen real fast.
Okay, so...
What ramen are you going to eat, man?
Is he going to get more ramen? Oh fuck!
Yep. He's
He's going to die.
Salt noodles.
Right, so basically, let me know if I have to do a performance check for this, but essentially, Hanako comes in and essentially, basically, she arrives with a skip to her step, kind of twirling about, sort of as in a very graceful sort of step, almost like very perfectionist in the way that she walks.
Tell you what, yeah, because of the level of intricacy that you've asked for, roll me a performance check for that.
Okie dokie.
If you were just skipping in, I'd have let you just skip in, no problem. But you were very precise about how detailed your character wants to come in. So yes, roll me a performance check. Not very good. You're trying to do this graceful walk through, but you don't realise that you're on the middle of a main road. And before you manage to step out, a motorbike just whizzes right past you, and like seconds away from hitting you, and it kind of puts a halt to this graceful movement that you were doing.
Oof.
Do we see this?
Roll me a perception check. If anyone wants to see what's going on, roll me a perception check.
I will have Hydra not be seeing this because he is.
I don't see shit.
You don't see
I am
shit.
I am distracted by something.
Can I try?
Yes.
Okay.
I imagine Hydra is too enveloped by what's going on with Balara.
Why would I have that on advance? Oh, that's right, because it's a new sheet.
Yeah, it automatically does it at advantage.
Yeah, you gotta learn to turn
I'm
that shit off.
actually going to say, though, because you're over there paying attention to them, there's a disadvantage, so I'm going to take that 6. So the only one that notices that there's this warpling trying to cross the road in this elegant fashion, and a bike just almost knocks them off their feet. The only person that sees this is Sakar. So Sakar, you see that this event almost happened. Carla, you're too kind of paying attention to the nobility before you. Obviously, Hydra, yeah, you're enveloped in the person before you, so you're not even glancing over there. Kelty, maybe you're a bit too distracted on what what the fuck are these people doing? Is he?
There's a really tall elf and a really tall elephant that talks.
Yeah. So the only one of you that noticed that Hanako almost gets hit by a bike is Sakar.
It's
Right.
did no one else see that child almost get hit by a bike?
So Sky, continue as you were doing.
I regain my composure and try to head towards the others. As I see a group of people, I assume that those are my people.
Okay, so please move your way over to your people.
All right.
Also, because it has to be asked, how tall is Hanako?
Yes, how tall is Hanako?
Because of the Lolita status, I'm going to put them at 4'10".
4'10". Okay.
Oh.
So your actual height.
Yeah.
Give us a little bit of a descriptor of your character as well. It keeps exiting out when I'm trying to do this.
Hang on 1 second. I spilled drink all over my fucking bed. Give me a minute.
God damn it.
Oh Lord, Sky.
Hold on 1 second.
This is why you have a sippy cup.
Sippy
Well,
cups
Sky
are
was
great.
cleaning that up.
I'm not shitting on sippy cups. Like I've always got to have like something with a lid on it. I cannot do it
Because
otherwise.
you're a
I'm
klutz.
exactly.
Yeah, I have a sippy cup.
It's true. How does a Pacific Cup?
I have it right now.
Like that's what I'm like. I have no shame in saying I use that shit. Like there ain't gonna be no spills with me. None of that bullshit.
Learn to
I
have
have-
better mobility.
I have many a crazy straw.
Those work too.
They're
Yeah.
great. They're great. There's nothing more wonderful than coming home from a hard day's work, having a nice cool drink, and then just popping in a crazy straw.
Yeah.
And if you disagree with me, fuck off, you middle-aged asshole. I don't know.
Oh God, thank you, Kara. You reminded me of something.
I didn't do shit.
No, you reminded me of something.
No, I
And
didn't.
Crazy straw and start world building.
Yeah, see? Crazy straw in, world building on. That's how I like to put it.
I literally didn't say anything that could
No.
have reminded you of anything.
Well, when you said better mobility, it reminded me. Oh, right, my knee, and I'm like, oh, that's right. I got to call the doctor back and see about getting that ortho
Sky, are
appointment.
you back?
Yes.
Okay,
How
so-
has been achieved.
Wonderful. So you've walked across the road now. Less over exaggerated as you wanted to, but sadly that's because a bike almost hit you. But you have now joined in on the group. What do you wish to do?
Hello. Is this the group that I'm looking for? Is everyone here for the same reason?
Iron Blood Brigade, honey.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, just
Are you
Like-
old enough to be signing up for a mercenary brigand?
oh, you leave her alone. She's just the cutest thing.
And that's why we shouldn't have them become a child soldier.
Hydra has not been paying attention to this and is still trying to ask Polar a question.
I love your dress. It's so cute.
I think
Oh, thank you.
I
You
think
made
I
it
have
make
to second the whole. Are you old enough to be here?
She looks old enough.
I'm actually quite old. I'm actually quite older than I look.
How old are you, honey?
Tiefling years in mid-20s, real quick.
It should be on your sheet.
Oh, she's a tiefling?
No.
Warpling.
Disgusting.
Warpling.
Oh, yeah. Space tiefling.
Space tiefling, yes.
Tentacles.
What kind of warpling is she?
You can't tell that just by looking. You racist.
Quit being so fucking racist.
Hey, I know
Caitlin.
some different warplings have different colors.
Not
Not
in
in
my
Zion.
game.
That's
That's
just
fun.
an Amaric only thing.
Yeah, that is
Okay,
an America.
I did not know that. I looked at the
I-
sheet and
I just kind of let people do what they want to do in terms of appearance. I get like how it actually makes it a lot easier to to give distinct appearances to certain things, but just because I don't know, maybe I'm lazy. I just let people make
that's
whatever
fine.
they want.
Approach.
But Carla would be able to tell she's a warpling, right?
The individual has horns. Do you have a tail, Sky? I don't see a tail. Do you not have a tail?
I did not add a tail.
Okay, so you see an individual with horns, very pinkish shaded skin. Your eyes are red, aren't they?
They look
Yes,
red.
they're red.
Yes, red eyes. One would assume that might in fact be a warpling.
Okay. But yes, how old are you, dear?
Where is it on the sheet?
I was honestly just thinking you go old enough.
Well, hold on. I'm sure we put it on your sheet. It should be on the bios.
Go to bio and it should be up the
No,
top.
you didn't write it on there. I did tell you to. I can't remember warpling ages right now. I have a warpling.
They reach full maturity at the age of 40 and live to the age of 500-ish.
Yeah, so you're an adult at 40.
Okay.
So then you're not old enough. Get out.
So you pick so adulthood so 40s are your 20s. There you go. So if you want to be the equivalent of 28, you're 48.
Okay. I'm gonna say 45.
All right.
Ooh, that's 45.
You're
Carla
coming in very soft for me, Sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that you're doing it for the voice, and it's good, but I don't. Maybe you need to move the mic a little bit closer, or maybe just something. Just because it's really good. I get what, and I like that you're doing it for the character, but it's just a bit hard to hear a little bit.
Okay. I'm actually not sure what port mic comes out of.
I mean, I have lowered the master volume as well a little bit to try and help.
Okay.
Right. Is this better? Like,
That's about the exact same, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say that was actually a little worse.
Oh, okay. I can't.
I just turned up my Chrome,
It's okay. No biggie.
and then I'll adjust y'all as I need to.
Gotcha.
So make sure to peek your mic as often as possible.
See, I have the built-in mic that I'm using because apparently the mic that I was sent doesn't work with my computer.
That's all good, honey.
Yeah.
But yeah, Carla's gonna give her a smile and she'll ask, "Are you a warpling, dear?"
Oh yes, I am.
Oh Lord.
think-
Carla will go. I thought you were. I have a warpling son.
Hydra, because I think I rolled high enough.
Yes, you did, 100%.
Yeah, considering how embarrassed I was, I actually thought I was going to roll lower than that, which would have been more.
You rolled fucking fantastic on so you rolled a 20 and a 21 at disadvantage.
I know. So at the mention of warpling and understanding, because he saw Balara, he doesn't know her name, but saw Lady Indica talk and address something behind him. Hydra will stand up entirely, and the sound of the sound of hearing warpling, he'll kind of turn and not necessarily look down on, but look down on because he's tall.
Okay, well, as you do that, oddly enough, Tara, as you are walking by, this man storms out from the bar and actually gets in your way and bumps into you. How does your character react to what looks like just a kind of mercenary individual walking in front of them and bumping straight into them?
Wait, is he wearing SWAT gear or does he just have a weird face?
No, that's SWAT gear.
Okay, swap gear.
wrong with your
I was
face?
wondering if he was an Iron Forged or something.
No. He appears to be just wearing a lot of military gear.
First question: what does he smell like?
He smells like piss, blood, and the bad side of the jungle.
Reminds me of Papa.
Here's the thing: would Carla be able to catch this scent from over here? Unfortunately,
No. But yeah. So Balara, what do you do with that insult?
I grab a hold of him and I force him to stand straight up, and I kind of get uncomfortably close to him. Make sure that his eyes are locked onto mine.
Kinky.
And I say, "What brigade do you belong to?"
Wait! Whoa! What's going on? Just watch where you're going. And then, as he's trying to speak to you, kind of not trying to like talk down to you, but trying to be like, "Oh, what are you doing?" He eyes the tattoo on your neck and goes, "Oh, listen. I don't want any trouble. I was just walking out. I've had a few to drink. That's all. Like, just come on, just chill out, okay?"
Terrible. You smell terrible. Go wash up and act like an actual soldier.
Okay, damn. Do you let him go?
Yes.
He immediately steps back. He gives you like a very formal bow, and he then makes his way past the registration. You can see he's kind of stumbling a lot as he does. He is quite drunk.
Yeah, as he was like passing by, Carla will just yell, just drink a lot of water and eat something and you'll be fine, hun.
Hydra will walk up right next to Valara, leading down as they probably continue walking or whatever, and would basically say, "So, call this a crazy guess, but I'm assuming because you reacted to Lady Indica, your relative, born and raised in the house, right?"
That would be correct. I am Balara, daughter of Melody.
Daughter of the Huntress herself?
Grand Huntress.
Oh, of course. I'm sorry. Mind the poor tongue. That's.
You're not from around here.
Oh, is it that easy to tell? Speaking of not being around here, and he'll turn back to the warplane because he hasn't forgotten them yet. And he's like, "You're far away from home."
Perhaps, but I have intentions to fulfill.
Don't we all? Well then, you seem to be the one that knows this place like the back of your hand. Oh, noble title creature.
Right.
Why don't you lead the way then? And he... Oh, not mockingly, but it seems... It looks weird. As he essentially gestures for her to move forward with the arms extended out towards the way they would walk.
Her eye
lady
again. Her eye twitches again.
Here, can I roll a perception check to see if I would notice the black eye?
It's going to be very high, but yeah, roll me a perception. Roll me a stealth check, Tara, at advantage, because you're going out of your way to hide it.
My sheet will not open all the way. Why?
Because
yeah, fun time.
you have to stretch it out, close it, and then open it again.
Yeah.
There. Okay, got it.
Advantage. Big advantage. Do it.
Yeah, at advantage because you're going out of your way to hide it. Yeah, you can't even notice. You don't even.
Okay. I figured it was worth a shot, though.
No, it's worth a shot, but like she knows what she's doing. She's going out of her way to hide it. She's definitely kind of using angles to keep herself angled away as well. So there's no way that you notice it.
Yeah, Carla will, as they're walking, she'll look at Hydra and go, one thing to keep in mind, dear, it's a little rude to touch people without permission.
Strange truths all around us.
Hanako, are you dwelling at the bottom or are you going to follow the group?
Sorry. Hold on.
It's okay, honey.
No, you're good. Because I wasn't sure if it was a character choice. That was all.
It's okay, Rocky. Take your time.
It's strange truths all around us. I guess they'll continue to evolve. I'll assimilate that as well later. Thank you for the information, though.
No problem.
Right, so everyone stop at the door for me, just so that I can give you information.
No, I want to be in the wall.
Go ahead. Then you die. Fuck you.
You can't breathe in walls. Think, Will, think.
Hey, you gotta remember, this is like Forge. You can't like go past the walls.
Joke's on you. Maybe I don't want to breathe.
I phase through the wall.
Hanako, if you're staying behind everyone a little bit, roll me a perception check.
Okie dokie, artichoke. Hold on 1 second.
Fucking God.
The cops are coming for you, Sky. You're underage hanging out with us like this.
God damn it, not again.
Behind this door is not the Iron Brigade. It's Chris Hansen.
Oh, you would 100% not notice. Okay, right. So, you guys led are up to the registration office, and you notice that the door. It's a very heavy set door. As you go towards it, it opens for you, and then you can see the inside. Let me reveal the inside. So, immediately on the inside, there is a large desk that goes from the end of one room all the way to the other. There is a signing in computer there that has a screen and has a large touch panel that has the outline of a elven hand. And then there is another computer on the other side, but that is facing towards the robot. The robot there is this kind of robot. Some of you may have seen a robot like this before. And it is behind the desk typing away at the computer. And as you all come in, it raises its head to you, and you instantly notice that it has a camera lens for an eye and appears to be recording you as you enter. As you enter, and it looks you up and down, it immediately looks at the lady of nobility before them, and it will respond to them thusly. Lady Indica. May I ask what brings you to our humble office this day?
I'm here to register.
Ah, wonderful. Is this a solo job? Is this another one of your hunting outings?
No, I'm here to join the brigade.
Ah, I see. This has been a long time coming. I'm glad that you have finally decided to strive out by picking. I would say that you've actually seen this robot before. This is if you're going out on hunts, this is where you register your hunt. You go in, you say what you're hunting, you say why, they register it, and then your noble acts are recorded. So because you've went out and you have hunted before, you have been in this office before. You have spoken to this robot, in fact, before. This is the robot that's kind of in charge of putting in the data. So you know them, and they seem to have now indicated that they're glad you have finally, instead of just going out on hunts, you decided to take that next step forward, which is to join a brigade.
Alrighty. And to his speaking of, like, this has been a long time coming, I don't remember the last thing that you said. She would say, well, what else is someone from House Indica supposed to do? And then she would try her hardest to force a smile.
Can I notice this forced smile as he is...
Right, so roll me a performance check for your forced smile. But I'm going to ask you an honest question. I want you to be honest. Would you say that your character has a history of forcing smiles?
Absolutely.
Very
Roll
weird.
me that performance at advantage.
Alright.
Right. So Hydra, you're trying to notice if this is a forced smile. Roll me a perception, just a straight normal perception.
Oh, sorry, that was GM, and that was also the wrong roll. Hold on.
Yeah.
Perception.
Yeah, perception.
Damn.
No. Just looks
Can I
like
roll
maybe
as
she's
well?
smiling a bit. Yes, you can roll as well.
Okay. No.
That's a nice smile. Sky, are you down
Everyone's
here?
so happy.
Sky, are you down here, or have
Sorry.
you followed the group?
I'm following the group. I'm sorry. I'm just drawing at the same time, and yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. But you do need to to keep up with the group for the reasons of knowing where things are happening and why.
Okay.
But yeah, so you have successfully did your forced smile, Tara. I would say I'll remember it, but in future, if you're attempting to force a smile based on what you've told me and what I trust about your character, any attempt to force a smile, you can roll the performance for that at advantage. Okay.
All right, I'm putting that in personality traits.
Yes, that's the perfect place to put that. I know that's not typically the rules for D&D, but you know me, I don't really give a fuck too much about rules, and if your character is really good at something and the story says your character should be good at that, I will cheat the rules. That doesn't mean you're going to get an advantage on every performance ever, but in a very specific situation, I will let you take that performance at advantage. If any of you ever feel like a very specific thing you're doing, your character would actually be good at, even though maybe you don't have proficiency in that, let me know, argue your case, and if I feel that it's in character for that, I'll let it happen, okay? But yes, you have forced your smile. What is there anything anyone else would like to do at the moment?
No, Carla's just watching for a minute.
Okay. Well, unless there is anything, I will continue that the robot then turns its camera towards each and every one of you, and you hear that of the lens zooming in and out on individuals' faces. I'm sorry, lady. Are these your retainers? Your
No. These are not retainers. I believe these are other volunteers.
Ah, I see. May I ask, of your assembled group, you individuals, have any of you signed up for hunting missions previously?
Not at all.
No, I have not.
Not quite.
First time here, I'm afraid.
Right. Well, what I need each and every one of you to do is to please place your hand on the touch center of the computer in front of you, so that I may register you as hunters. As of this moment, you are not registered. The lady, they have hunted with us previously, so I have them on our records.
Coolio. Hydra will step up and examine it first, like look at the touchpad.
Yeah. Do
Before-
me investigation. Yeah, so what it is you can tell that this is it's not trying to get any other information, it's not stealing your information, it's just something that you put your hand over it. It is shaped like the outline on the touchpad screen is shaped like a elven hand, because you assume that elves are the most common race in this entire galaxy, and so it's more common for them to be the kind of the kind of mold for everything. You could still put your hand on it if it's not an elven hand, but you just know that it's fit for that. It looks like it's just going to scan your hand and probably take your fingerprints, is what you can see from that investigation. It's not particularly high tech, so the fact that it's not super high tech tells you that it's only really built for the purpose of fingerprints.
Okay. You'll notice that Hydra will almost like try to line his fingers up in it perfectly, and because I feel like Carla would take notice of this, you would see that his fingernails are the same exact color as like his lips and eyes, like the tears and stuff like that.
Okay.
As he like almost like pristinely matches it up to the fingerprint lines, to the finger lines.
Please provide me with a name or a code name that I may set your standard template to.
I might stick with the code name. Real names are a little complicated.
Real names are not required. I simply need to have something to attach to your biometric data of your fingerprints so that I may log your missions, that I may log your hunts, and that if any owings is presented on your front or on the Iron's front, that you may get it.
Understood. Yes, I suppose this would also be a good time to introduce myself to the rest of our merry band, as it would be. You can all, for now, call me Hydra.
He starts clanking away very, very fast on the keyboard and just roll me a perception check. It's I wouldn't say you put two and two together, but you noticed a lot of typing down. There's a lot of typing going on for Hydra. Is all I will say to that.
He'll scrunch his nose and kind of his eyes will squint towards the robot. Anything you would like to share for me? A lot of clacking.
No,
There seems to be a lot of.
Sorry.
I was gonna say there seems to be a lot of typing for just 5 letters.
You asked if there's anything I wish to share. I do not wish to share anything. Your template has been formed, Hydra. You may step aside so that one of the other individuals can do the exact same. I would ask that you please take your pet elephant and let them go outside.
Oh. Fight.
Carla's not even gonna like really react to that. She's just gonna give a smile and said, "I'm not a pet elephant, dear. It's okay that you're mistaken. I'm here to sign up for the."
Oh god. Okay. Hydra probably drawn the sword.
You draw your sword. You just
No. Carla is immediately going to put her hand up. She's like, "No, there is no offense to be taken. Most people do not know what I am. I don't even know what I am.
So
I'm not a pet elephant. I'm here to sign up for the Iron Brigade."
I actually don't know. Like Hydra would probably register that there's an arm in front of him, but the sword is mostly drawn, and he's just kind of like he's kind of almost seething, and you'll see the tears start flowing more. Oh, the black tears flow more.
Carla's just gonna pat his head with her trunk and go, "There, it's nothing to get upset over. I promise."
He's like, yes, of course, and he will stow the sword, and he's just like, and you'd notice the tears stop almost instantly, but the black lines are still there, and
she'll wipe them with her trunk real quick.
Nothing's there. Nothing wipes off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you would notice that will look like flowing liquid.
They crash around me.
Isn't flowing like what you would think would probably be flowing and still be wet is actually completely dry.
She'll take note of that.
Spooky gunk. He'll stow his sword as he walks, and he's like, I sometimes forget that people are a little bit clumsier than what you would expect from, you would in quotations go, civilized society.
You would notice that there is an individual standing next to you who was crossed-armed, looking at the lady in front of him, who then turns his attention towards you and goes, "You know, you shouldn't be so quick to draw your sword on what is just a robot that is confused at what is in front of it."
And then he will.
I will say when they say robot, Carla's not going to be thrilled at the term. Like, you would notice her face be like, "That's fine. That's fine."
But yes, go on. Go on, Alex. You're saying?
Hydra would immediately have, upon seeing this guy, because I actually assumed that the big reason he came here was mostly for him. Getting someone from House Indica was just a cherry on top.
Oh yeah, you would. I would say that you, of all people, you and Balara are the two people. Maybe Kelty, but you and Balara 100% would instantly know who this person is. This is the individual that has essentially hired you, or put out the hiring notice for people to join the Iron Blood Brigade, because this is the Iron Blood himself. This is Maldrich. He is a well-known forgeborn hero and an individual who has taken districts. He is a very, very well-known surveyor sergeant. So you would instantly know him when he started addressing you and talking.
So at that, like as he addresses, he would immediately replace the slight like scowl or like stern face with an almost immediate smile, like a creepy, joyful smile. And be like, "Ah, Sir Maldrich, the one that I've come here searching for. Pleasant surprise to get House Indica, of course, but to get you were the real reason I came here. I don't know what you mean about drawing my sword. If I had drawn my sword, it would have been dead."
I saw you draw your sword, and yes, it is wonderful to have the lady with us. I am both honored and a little surprised that you chose to take my humble request. If I'm truly honest, I sent that to you. Well, when I sent it to you, I didn't think that you would actually take it seriously and reply, but one hoped that maybe if I extended the olive branch per se, that you would take it.
You were the first one that asked, and being quick is more important to me than being notable.
I also assume that your notoriety probably played some level of a factor in this too. I don't think she'd go to someone fresh off the streets.
That is true. I'm not some freshie starting out, but there's nothing exactly wrong with that either. As this conversation is going on, the eye lens of the robot is focusing on you, Kelty, and they will address you and say, "You are not on our records. I have no visual identification of you. Do you wish to make a template?"
There should be information on me.
Please place your hand on the screen. There seems to be something not right.
I've placed my hand on the screen.
After a few moments, it does the. You ever seen a scanner as it does the scan line? It just does that. It's like a 90s printer scanner that just goes
Oh
a
my
line.
God.
Yeah, you know exactly what that is. The way you react,
Yeah.
you know exactly what that is. It goes up the hand and it takes into account your biometrics, and the camera kind of zooms in on you again, and then they start clickety clacking on the keyboard, and then after seconds of clickety clacking, we'll speak to you again. Ah, yes, we do have you on our records. That is strange. There seemed to be a visual error when taking in your personage. Your biological data seemed off. This is a malfunction I will seek to address. But what are you here for? Would you like to register a hunt? I assume, are you with the individuals around you or not?
I suppose that I am with them. I am joining up with the Iron Brigade.
Ah, I will have you registered to the Iron Blood Brigade. Thank you. If you would like to step along so that the next individual may use the toilet.
I step aside so that our pet elephant can register.
Carla will go up to it and
Just slam her fucking hoof down on it.
Punches it.
Breaks it.
no,
Robot's
she'll
like-
gently put her bigger than normal hand on it.
May I
Orphan
please,
typing.
may I
Have you-
please get a name for this?
Carla March.
The clickety clack 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 begins, and it happens over and over and over again, and then the creature re-looks at you again, and the camera lens does its as it goes back and forward. We have no biometric data of your species.
Neither do I, dear. I'm sorry for the trouble.
This is problematic. I am unsure if I can register you.
It's. I don't know what to tell you, dear. I don't even know what I am.
But
If it makes you feel any better, if she dies on this mission, there'll probably be less paperwork then.
no, you do not understand. There are legal requirements that I must follow to register an individual, such as proof that that individual is above the legal age. If I do not understand the race of the individual before me or their genus, I cannot determine if they are in fact legally an adult. If
Would sorry, real quick, Hicks. Would Carla be able to pull out I'm sure she's got ID of some sort.
ID.
Well,
yes,
no,
you would have a form of ID.
Yeah, she'll pull
Here's
it
my
out.
driver's license.
So you pull out a form of ID, the robot looks at it, looks at you, and goes, fantastic, but you do not understand the point I'm making. My point is that I do not know at what point your species is considered an adult. You are showing me ID that says an age, yes, but the maturity of every race is different. A warpling does not become mature the same time a alpha does, nor a scion. So I do not know if you are considered an adult or not.
I've got kids, bitch.
She will go, I have several children, if that helps.
No, it does not, because it does not. You do not understand the query this droid is trying to make.
She'll look at what's the guy's name again? Their name again?
Maldrich. But you don't know that. Because you
Wouldn't
don't
she-
know that
hold on.
character.
Would she have heard about Maldrich from Ren?
Yeah. So you would know the basics. You would know, they're fantastic in life. Like in real life, they're way different than all the writings that you read. But they have like this kind of this version of authority over them. I just get excited thinking about it. That's
Would she have
exactly
heard-
how they would have described Maldrich to you.
Yeah, would she have heard the name Maldrich though? From Hydra. When he was talking to Maldrich.
I did address him as Sir Maldrich.
Yeah.
Roll me a perception check, and I'll tell you if it's good enough.
Okay.
Nah, one. No, yeah, that's good enough. You would have heard Hydra say Sir Maldrich.
Carla will look at Maldrich and go, excuse me, Mr. Maldrich, I'm sorry to bother you. They're having a little trouble registering me. My son Ren said I would be able to join the Iron Blood Brigade.
I need special privilege real quick.
It's not even special privilege, she's just wanting a little help.
Here I am, trying to survey, and these motherfuckers, these robots trying to take my ivory.
Me, sir. I need to play the nepotism card.
I mean,
So-
it is coming.
Maldrich looks at the robot, then looks at you, looks at the robot, then looks at you. Right, okay. Droid, Carla, that's your name, right?
Yes.
How old are you? Like, how many years have you lived?
I'm 225 years old.
Right, droid. How old does an elephant have to be an adult? It does a bunch of calculations in its head, and and then he looks at it and goes, "Right, now is 200."
200, not 225. Sorry about that.
That's fine. Is 200 higher than the amount that your calculations present an elephant as being an adult? It takes another moment. It looks back at you. It looks at Maldrich. Yes, quite largely. All right, just register them as an elephant.
Now,
Awakened elephant.
an awakened elephant. That's
Carla's
pretty cool.
gonna smile at the Iron Forge and go, because they are an Iron Forge, right? Not just
They're a
regular
robot.
They're just a regular robot.
Yeah, this is not an awakened. This is just a robot.
But I mean, it's still technically an Iron Forge, right?
Yes, all robots
Okay.
are technically Iron Forge.
That's why I thought. She'll smile at the Iron Forge and go, I'm so sorry for the trouble, dear. Thank you for your help.
This is my purpose. You don't need to thank me for completing my purpose.
But you're still doing a lot of help, so thank you.
Please unplug my power circuit.
And
Problem. What is my purpose? Your purpose is to pass butter. Oh my god.
push me in the bath, please. End my suffering. Jam something into my pores.
Delete my browser history.
Toaster bath means something entirely different for Ironforge.
I have seen too much. So it does the rest of its calculations, and it gives you a nod, and then says, "You are now registered. I have to register you as an elephant since your genus does not technically exist on our data. Just please be aware of that."
That's fine. I'm sorry for the trouble.
Who is next?
Carla will get out of the way. Sorry. Sorry it took so long.
Bill's gonna make a robo.
Uh-oh, Will's going robotic.
You.
Oh no.
If it was me in Will's position, I just wouldn't have gone robot.
If it was me in one position, I'd just always have a very good connection. Oh no.
I blame my family on buying a cheap router.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go.
Oh,
You're back,
there you go,
sir.
you're back.
Back. It only took him insulting his family's poor purchasing decisions.
Anyway, Sakar approaches the thing, takes off his glove, and puts his hand over the monitor terminal. He's had enough of this shit.
The unit does a series of clickety clacks. You are not registered. I will make you a template for this. Please provide me a name.
Sakar.
You want me to put your template name as Sucker?
Just narrows the eyes. Do I need to spell the name out for you?
No, I can spell Sucker. This is fine.
I would like to use my mage hand to reach over and type in my own name.
You can do that if you want to use your mage hand to type in your own name. You by all means, please describe exactly how you do this.
He takes his hand that isn't on the terminal, just opens it up. A little spectral, kind of pinkish, purplish hand just go. Actually, wait, since that's psionic,
It's invisible.
it's invisible. You guys don't see shit.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
The keys just start pushing themselves. And he's just sitting there with one of his hands open.
Yeah, and the name just comes up as Sakar. Yeah, it looks astonished, and then it says to you, "Oh, Sakar, I understand now."
It means son of Hulk and Alfred.
Your name and template had been created. I am assuming that you also wish to join the Iron Blood Brigade.
Whatever pays.
Many things pay. Is this not what you want?
Just pinches the bridge of his nose, realizing any amount of coyness is not going to work. Yes, I'm here for the Iron Blood job.
You have now been added. Please step aside for the next individual to use the console. Sky, I have noticed that you are muted. If you are doing something and cannot talk at the moment... Oh.
Sorry, I
That's
didn't
all right.
realize I was muted.
That's alright. Did
I
you
think
say anything?
I did, yes.
Oh no. I thought you were
It's
just
okay,
doing
honey.
something. I thought you were just
Rip.
doing something.
So Hanako comes swirling around to the machine
Mm-hmm.
and places her hand on it.
Can you please tell me your age?
This is now the running joke.
I am 45 years old. Thank you.
Bitch, you're too young.
Please place your hand on the console. Would you like me to get you a ladder?
Carla will just look at her and just give a little bit of a sigh. If you do need help, I can lift you with my trunk. Fine. I do it for my
Hanako-
daughter all the time.
Hanako brushes off her dress, trying to regain composure. I don't need a ladder.
I have a
And places-
sledgehammer.
Would you prefer a step stool?
So you reach out, you put your hand on it. It does a series of the clickety clackety clacks that it's been doing already. Please provide me with a name to add to your standard template.
Hanako Hagasawa.
You are here to join the Iron Blood Brigade as well.
Yes, I am.
It does a series of tippity tappings. Then what I would like everybody to do, everybody who's in that room, roll me a perception check.
I am known for my perception.
Oh, not bad.
None of it's good enough, though. This is
Wait,
amazing. Yeah, so
Everyone in the room?
yeah,
18's not good enough?
This is not good enough. This is fucking amazing. I'm so happy about this.
I will cast guidance on myself,
Okay, go ahead.
and when I do, the dark energy starts to emanate from my eyes.
Would I take notice of that?
Roll me. Yeah. Is it something that's very visible?
It is very visible.
Then 100% you would notice it. If Kara's telling me it's very visible, I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. I'm gonna say you'd see it.
He will now be staring intently at Kelty.
So Kelty, you can do your. So now roll your is it D4?
Yeah, D4.
Yeah. No, that's not good enough.
A 20?
Yeah,
Jesus.
20 is not good enough. At this point, though, to help, the individual, like, the Mao, essentially, lets out a chuckle and says, alright, stop messing around. I get it, you're really good at hiding. They're all idiots and can't see you. You can stop now. Then, boom. You all somehow don't know how you didn't see the horned warpling standing right in the middle of the room, but I don't know. You all rolled below what their stealth roll was, which was 28. So
Well, hey, damn.
So I'll actually take it that Hydra hasn't even noticed. Still doesn't know.
Congratulations!
Yeah, Hydra still doesn't notice the warpling as he is now just. His eyes have all zoomed in on Kelty.
Laura just doesn't care.
yeah, so you've now been revealed that there is standing right there as where their character is a warpling. I'll zoom up their image again. So this warpling is standing about 5'4". They are wearing a green kind of cloak over what you don't know. You can't see what's under it, but they are wearing a green cloak. They have a rather large kind of ornate, but natural. It's not plastic or anything. Lily attached to the green cloak. They have the red hair and the red eyes and the two kind of bull-like horns at the back of their head. Their skin is a pale, pallided blue. And on their back seems to be a long rifle that's actually slightly taller than they are. They look towards Mao and then look around you and go, are these the people that are reinforcing us? They just give a slight nod back to the warplane. Does anyone have anything to say to that? Or...
Carla will give the Warpling a smile and say, "I'm Carla. Nice to meet you, dear."
Do you reach out with your trunk or your hand, or are you just saying?
She'll reach out with her hand.
The Warpling reaches out with their hand and gives your hand a firm shake. Do me a favor, Sakar.
Yeah.
Roll me a history check.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fine, don't worry about it. You're dumb.
God damn.
Jesus, man. Okay.
After Carla
too dumb for real.
introduces,
I
after
know,
she
we just don't
introduces
remember.
herself, Kelty will introduce themselves as well.
Kelty then the Warpling then takes Kelty's hand and looks over towards Galara and says, "Lady, I had no idea you would be joining us. Mao, you didn't tell me that you sent someone of such high esteem an invite."
I've been getting that a lot today.
Well, I mean, it's not every day that
I'm just out.
you run into a member of the household that has the greatest living huntress on all of the planet.
Yeah, I just figured that my mother's achievements wouldn't mean anything to how others perceive me. I haven't done anything of value yet.
No, but whether you've done anything of value or not, the fact that you come from a family line of such high value, well,
It
leads to
means
the
the
idea.
expectations are that much higher for me.
Well, put it bluntly like that. Yes.
Unfortunately, family dictates what happens. So just because your family has high ranking, that will always rub off on you,
Of course.
no matter how much you try and run from it.
Of course, I plan to live up to that. That's why I'm joining instead of running away.
At this point, the Warpling looks towards the construct next to you and says, "Is this your guardian frame?"
I use it in fights. Yes.
I have not had the honor of seeing an individual use such a skill set. We had someone use a man-made variant, but of course, those pale in comparison to the actual psionic fact.
I don't know if it's anything that impressive.
Well, it is impressive to a humble hunter like myself.
We're on even footing right now. I don't think you're any more humble than I am.
I have more of a known reputation than myself, at the very least.
I suppose so.
Roll a thing real quick. Cool. Right. At this point, Mao looks between all of you and says, "So, I'm guessing all of you are prepared for my little job."
Yes.
Yeah, I believe so.
Of course.
Hydra
believe
gives
so.
no response as he is still staring at Kelty.
Well,
I look over at Hydra and
It's an inquisitive look. He doesn't even realize he's not talking or doing anything.
Does Carla realize he's staring?
I'm going to say no at the moment. I'm going to let this
Okay.
be between Kelty and Hydra.
Oh, good.
I mean, the energy is enough that anyone who cared to look would know. So, if you see Hydra staring, then you would know why he's staring. So, when I see him staring, I suddenly realize why he's staring, and I actually attempt to excuse myself out of the room.
I'm sorry. Can you come back, please. I was in the middle of talking to you. You hear as you're opening and closing the door the voice of Mal.
As I'm heading out, I tell him I just need a moment, and I head out just outside the door, and I'm just trying to calm myself.
Once Kelty leaves, you would immediately see Hydra whip out his book, his leather-bound, colorful floral book, and immediately start just jotting down, just furiously, almost as if he's not like paying attention to the world around him.
How vigorously he whips the book out.
I whipped it out real vigorously, like I whip off my belt every time I come home.
Oh my god.
One fluid motion.
After a minute, which is how long guidance lasts, the energy would fade and I'd come back.
And he looks at you and goes, as I was saying, if you're all part of my brigade now, I should probably explain a little bit about what's going on and what the mission is. So, those of you who don't know me, my name is Maldrich Caldwin. Some people have taken to calling me Ironblood because of some events that happened in my past. I don't feel the need to reiterate that right now, but, well, as of signing up to the agreement, I'm your commanding officer. I'm the one that will give you quests, and I will ultimately be the one that signs off on your paychecks. So please bear that in mind if I ask you to do something. I've requested...
Thank you.
You're welcome. I have requested your aid because I'm in need of more people to deal with the taking of land that I have designated as my own. Can anyone that... Right, so Hydra and Hydra, Balara, Kelty, and Sakar. So everyone but Carla and Ranko, roll me an insight check, please.
Everyone?
No,
everyone but you and me.
apart from
Okay.
Carla and Ranko, roll me an insight check.
We don't know shit.
I'll play it off that he is still just in his book and just
Well, yeah,
he's
yeah.
half listening. Hence why the lower roll.
Right. So yeah, he continues. We need some reinforcement to help take the land, so I put it out to get more numbers, and well, you have shown up, so we need to continue on. For now, I don't have any vehicles at my disposal to take us to the point of land, so some of what we need to do, I'm afraid we're going to have to do on foot. But there is an area that a vehicle that we have at our disposal is at, so if you just can bear with us, we will get to that location, and then that can take us to the actual location. Does anyone have any questions currently?
None at the moment.
No, I think most of us are just ready to get out there, I suppose.
After a hot second, he would snap his book shut and then stow it, and would just kind of look up, basically lock eyes with Kelty, then turn to Maladrich and Balara, and then the rest of the group, and he's just like, I'm excited. His grin gets creepier and bigger.
I would jump at the suddenness of the book snapping shut.
He's just, and he'll basically be like, I'm excited to see these realities mesh and the fruit that it'll bring us.
As am I. As part of becoming a member of a surveyor brigade, some items will be issued to you. Our droid friend here will ensure that you're all equipped with a basic mess kit to be able to make food, and a tent each so that you can sleep, and the items needed to actually sleep. For now, I have a few pieces of work that I need to solidify before I can meet up with the rest of you. The warpling to the back, that is one of my brigade, one of the brigade that you are part of now, by the name of Hera. You may work with her. She is going to take you and some of our other brigade members to a small forward camp that we have. Time is very precious, so I would prefer if you make your way to the forward camp now, settle down there for the night, and then you can press on to our vehicles. Is that acceptable for all of you?
And
Yes.
he would bow, actually very gracefully, and be like, "Of course." As he
Hanako
looks at
curtsies.
Aldrich.
Please, both of you. There's no need to do that. You're part of my brigade now. Yes, I am, in a sense, your boss, but I don't want you to be bowing to me. I'm just someone that's done a lot of fighting, that's all.
He works for a living.
He does work for a living.
And then he would.
That's the face of an individual that's been through retail.
He has been through it. Actually, quick question for Helena.
Yes.
Does Hera give any look to Hydra? Like negative or positive, as she is a warpling.
You notice they've glanced over at you a few times, but you don't think it was a negative glance, but you have
Why would it be a negative glance on me?
you have noticed that she's been glancing at everyone. None of them have been negative, like none of them have been like, ugh, what are you? But it's like you get a feeling that she has been not judging you, but taking in the measure of each and every one of you a moment.
Yeah, I figured the ones that would be most likely to judge would be warplings potentially. There are 2 warplings in the party.
What's that supposed to mean?
Don't worry about it. There's no judging at the moment. So I'm not going to keep us going much longer because I'm looking at the time and we've been here for a little bit. But I'm happy to, as long as everyone's okay. I'm happy to move us to the next map. And get a little bit of that's going on, and then we can, if everyone feels that we're at a good enough point to stop, we can stop. But is everyone good enough to just continue on a little bit more? Just check.
Yeah.
If we can get to the next map, that'll be fine for a little bit, yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to be very aware of that we did start a little later, and I'm aware that people have job commitments and such, etc., etc. But just to cut a long story short and to give you a bit of an understanding of what's happening, Maldrich has said that he has some work that he needs to do.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh, what just happened?
You and Caitlin just exploded.
Yeah.
Kara, Alex, and Tara exploded for me.
Yeah, that's what's happened on my screen.
Helena and Caitlin exploded for me.
Now Hex is gone.
What is that? I have no idea. You can still hear me, though.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Doesn't matter then. But whatever it is. See, now Tara's reappeared for me. That's so weird. Right, okay. So, what's essentially happened is Maldrich, you have now all signed up officially to be members of the Iron Blood Brigade. And Mal has kind of basically explained to you that you're going to... that he has the site set up, but he needs more people to take the site and help defend it during construction. He doesn't have any vehicles to transport you directly to the site, so, well, none that he has at the moment, but there is a vehicle out there, and you can get to that one. But first, he wants you to go to the forward base and set up a little like area to sleep in the forward base. Then, when you get there, you can then continue on to the actual to the actual vehicle that can take you to the area. But he's not going to be coming with you. he's gonna be clearing up some stuff here. Then he's gonna join you. But Hera is gonna take you there along with some other members of the Ironblood Brigade. So, at a point, you would all make your way through the city. You would then meet a series of, maybe jobber-like individuals. I don't know. Almost as if they're none of them are unique, as if that might mark out that they're disposable or something.
While they're walking, Carla will ask Hera, do you know where the flora researchers are?
Oh, they're not here. They were last at the site. None of the researchers are really all together at the moment. There are a few of them at the... Why do you ask?
My child, Ren, is one of the flora researchers.
Ah. I see.
Is there a problem?
Oh, boy.
Well, can you tell me more about this individual? What do they look like?
Ren is an iron forged.
Okay, you're fine. Right.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
be honest with you all a little bit since Mao has decided to keep some information from you. Why do you think that we need reinforcement?
Well, it's
Oh,
obvious that people died, right?
Yes, I know why you need reinforcements. Ren did give me the full warning.
Right, I'll be open. The reason that we need reinforcements is that much of our brigade number was slaughtered by a nasty creature that burrowed under the ground and, well, caught us very completely by the skies.
Hydra will whip out the book again and say, maybe later could you give me a description of this?
Well, yes, I can do that for you if you wish. I'm rather hoping that we never interact with the creature again, but...
Why would you wish of such a thing?
Well, it murdered at least 14 people.
But don't you also wish to murder them?
Yes, however, I also understand that I can't take on something like that right now, even with my rifle and my best shot. Even with you, I don't think that that's possible as of right now. Yes.
I'm more curious about studying it. How they've survived and adapted to these wilds.
It adapted many razor-sharp claws, I can tell you that.
How much?
How
much
what?
bloodshed was there?
Well, I just told you that 14 people of the brigade, not including scientists, died.
How much gore and bloodshed was there? How horrific was it?
There's a blinking moment, and you... who here knows the language Irulan?
No.
I do.
Anyone that knows the language Irulan will know what is about to be said. I trust the rest of you to not know this. Sky, you do know Irulan because it's the language of the warplings.
I also know it.
Hera looks at you and says, "Is it something going on? Like, you're very calm about asking about bloodshed. I'm a little bit concerned."
Oh no, nothing at all. Would like to find out more about what's going on.
Well, and then she changes back to common. Like I said, this creature burrowed up from the ground, forced its way through, and ripped people apart with scythe-like talons. It was generally horrific. It killed 14 fighters, some of our best, and honestly, about a dozen or even half a dozen of our scientists. We only have a few more left. That's why we wanted more people like you, myself, so that we can defend and back it up. It's also one of the reasons why we don't have a vehicle right now.
Just knowing that's huge, though. Means And then he will actually begin to take notes just about what was said because Hera did give minor description.
We do, in fact, have a vehicle. We have a Goliath-level vehicle left out in the field. It's one of the ones that we had to abandon. I'm hoping, and I believe Mal is betting every penny he has on, that it's still intact when we go to the last location site. If it's not intact, honestly, I don't know if we'll survive the trek to the location of the settlement, or the would-be settlement. But if the vehicle is intact, then while it may be a cramped ride, we'll be able to get to the settlement, at the very least. I would understand if any of you want to duck out now.
Hydra would snap the book shut again. And just say, I've got too much riding on this to leave.
I have some things, hopefully, riding on this as well. Plus, anything to help protect Ren.
I will do what I must.
Honestly, this is just the best paying opportunity in any part of the known universe. So,
A member of House Indica never backs down.
At that statement, Hydro he hasn't put the book away yet, but it's like in his hands. He's holding it almost as like a dainty schoolgirl, but 7'5".
Plus, I kind of got conscripted into this, so I don't really have much of a choice.
What? You didn't get forced into this.
In a way, they kind of said that they highly suggested that I join.
I'm concerned about that, but for now, just bear in mind that when we step out of this city, there's a good chance that anything and everything you see will try to kill you. I know I don't have to tell you this, lady, looks at Balara, but for the rest of you that haven't done this before, outside these walls, everything wants to kill you. I'll provide as best backup as I can with my rifle, but you need to be able to defend yourselves.
Hydra will turn his head to Hera and basically say, is anything here more frightening than Titus?
They give you a very weary look and go, listen, while your world is its own fearful place, trust me when I say some of the creatures out there will give Titus a run for its money.
And then he'll basically just kind of like do like a knowing nod and just basically be like understood.
Wonderful. So, time passes. You maybe have little chit chats among each other. If there's any information that you want to share, you can share by putting it in the Discord of like little things that you might have said, and I'll cover it next time. But just for the sake of timing, you make your way out of the city, and you venture out through the wilds for at least a good hour, 2-3 hours, and you make your way to this point. You should all be on the new map. Yes, you are.
Yes.
So what I want you to do is use this as an opportunity. What order are you going to be marching out in? Who's going to be at the front? Who's going to be at the back? What I kind of want to know how you're ordered. At the moment, I've kind of got the kind of generic mercenaries right at the front. But
I imagine Hydra's right next to more or less Balara because he would have been pestering her with questions.
Carla's going to be towards the front, and while they're walking, she would be let me do this. She'd be like scenting the air for like anything unusual.
Okay, so yeah, again, you've walked for several hours. You're at this point. Hera has her rifle off of her shoulder. She's got it ready. You can notice she's got very good trigger discipline. Roll me an insight, Kelty and Sakar. Insight.
okay. That is my second nat 20 of the night.
On a -1 as well.
Both of them were on -1s.
So, no, I know, just how good it is. Right, so you both rolled high enough to divulge some information. So I will say to Kelty first, then I'll give a more in-depth version to Sakar. So Kelty, no one just has trigger discipline like that. That's not something that people just, oh yeah, I'm really good at trigger discipline. No, that's a skill that's learned. That's something that's taught over someone that's been out, that's held a rifle for a long time, that's been in very tense situations where they need to have good trigger discipline. You can tell that's
someone that's seen a lot of combat.
Yes. Sakar, you get that, but you also get more. You get that is the trigger discipline not of someone in the military. That's trigger discipline up your alley, if you get what I mean. That's trigger discipline that someone's gathered from doing some fights that weren't of a military versus a military, or a military versus a monster. And you look and you realize that they have I have the art for it, but I don't have the art here. But I'll put it in the Discord another time. The rifle that Hera is carrying. You've seen someone use a rifle like that before. It's not an everyday kind of rifle. This is a rifle from Hyperion. Hyperion being the planet that all of the warplings come from. So this, it's not particularly a super strong weapon, but you don't see people carrying them, and they're very professional in that this isn't just a gun you get, you shoot, you good at shoot. This is something that someone has to use for a long time to know the ins and outs of how it works. Because if you know how it works, you're good with it. If you don't, you're gonna jam it really easily. You've seen people use these weapons, and only people that are really trained in these weapons know how to use them properly. Because you did so well on that, roll me a history check. Oh! Fuck me!
Apparently Will's gone to the Hex School of Rolling.
Oh yeah, Helen, I don't know if you saw. Last night I did the same shit. 3 nat 20s. Back to back. That's
I'm
the
gonna
worst.
message you.
As I was clicking it, I was thinking, man, it'd be funny if I nat 20 twice in a row. And then it happened.
I guess it's something only DMs can do.
I'm gonna have to message you it on Discord, because I hate when it does this, but sometimes I / whisper at someone, and it will tell me this person doesn't exist. I'm like...
Oh boy, my greatest dream, I don't exist anymore.
Right there, motherfucker, I can see. So I'm just going to message you it quickly on Discord. Now, the reason I'm messaging this and not telling this, because this is information that your character would get and other characters wouldn't, and I don't want to let it known to everyone.
This only serves to make Sakar look even sketchier, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just messaged you the thing.
Okay. Interesting.
Yes. But whatever you choose to do with that is up to you.
For now, he's just gonna kind of squint, kind of narrow the eyes at her, and just not say anything. He's just gonna keep that to himself for now.
Yeah. What's best about that? Me doing it on Discord means it won't be picked up on the recording. So fuck you, people trying to cheat. As you go on.
Oh, I was just laughing.
Oh, okay. As you've walked, you get through the jungle. You go through quite a bit of time. It's very tense. Those of you who haven't went out before, you've been sold on everything here is going to try to kill you.
Can I imagine that that Hydra's actually just oblivious to this tense?
Yes, you're completely oblivious to it.
Good.
And I did see your question on Discord. I will answer that for you in a Discord message, because there's some stuff that you would know, and I will let you know about that, okay? So as you're going through the jungle, it's all and for everyone apart from Hydra, it's very tense. I would say for Tara, for you, for Balara as well, there's a bit of nervousness there, but you've been out here before, so you're not like as bad as everyone else. But there's a tinge of nervousness because when you were out here before, it was hunting some prey, specifically yourself, not venturing this far out into like wild. You were doing like little hunts and everything. You weren't going deep out into the wilds like you are right now. But yes, at this point, Hera then points out, if I can do the shift thing correctly, this area down here, which seems to be some kind of ruins with a fallen statue, and will say to you all in a hushed tone, right, that's where we can sleep for the night. We can defend that position and we can set up our tents there. So, if you want to make your way over there, the tree, the big one, I'm going to try and take my perch up there to keep an eye on us. But just please, be careful as we go, okay?
Carla would just nod at that.
Hydra will actually take a look around in the area, see if he notices anything, either flowers or fauna, flora or fauna that would catch his eye.
Yeah,
Okay.
Carla's still looking too. Yeah.
So anyone that wants to be like on the lookout, be careful, roll me a perception check.
I don't know if it was be careful for Hydra, but I'll still roll a perception. It's a 9.
Yes,
That's a
Tara.
good, that's a good perception.
I was going to ask, could I check the ground for tracks or that sort of thing?
Yes, if you would like to do that, roll me survival.
Can
or
I
nature,
use?
whichever one's better for you.
Can I use keen smell for this?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll have an advantage.
And then once that's done, I'll give you your answers, like your information. Okay. So perception-wise, like Kelty, you've also ventured out a little bit into the wilds before, but you never went anywhere near this far out. This is really far out from where you guys were. So you're a bit apprehensive. You're keeping an eye out. You can't see anything worrying. Hydra, yeah, you see some very interesting like plant life. Nothing dangerous or nothing that you've actually not seen before. But you know when you see an interesting flower, you may have seen that flower before, but it's still interesting to you.
Yeah.
Is that the sense that you get as you go through, and it's very interesting to you. But you also got to be prepared that there's danger out here. Balara, you notice that there are footmarks across the grounds. There have been animals that have come through here. It's not like you've just missed them. This has been hours and hours and hours ago, maybe even a day ago. This has been a long time ago that some creatures have went through here before. If you want to try to ascertain what kind of creatures it actually was, you can do me a history check, or you could do me a survival check. And I'll be able to maybe tell you a bit more, but you can definitely tell there have been stuff. So, based on the footing, and based on the direction, and based on how good the nature roll was, you can most definitely tell that this was one of two creatures. This was either a giant badger, or a series of giant badgers, or giant boars. You can tell it's definitely one or two of those. They're very similar-ish patterns in the way that they walk, and they're kind of paw prints. So you know that one or the other of those have been through in the last day, and in quite fair big numbers as well.
All right. I would point that out.
Right. Understood.
Keep an eye out for badgers and boars. But yeah, so that's those. So move out however you want to move out, guys. You know that the direction you need to get to is down there.
Yeah, Hydra would stick close to Balara as he feels that she's the most experienced in this one.
Okay, well, I'm a rewind time because the people have done some things. So you're gonna go back to here. You're gonna go back to here.
Go, nameless, faceless jobbers that I don't care to learn about.
Right. So, other guys, where would you have went while those people have went over there? I'm not saying that you will get to stay at the back like that.
Hold on.
Sakar would have kept moving, but he would have. I'm gonna say he would have been somewhere near the middle, like here-ish.
Perfect. Right. Where would everyone else have been? I'm gonna move Hera to where they would have been.
Just by nature as a frontliner, he would have tried to keep kinda close to the front.
Okie dokie. So, Carla and Hanako, where would you have been?
I think Hanukkah would have stayed like a little bit farther back because she wants to portray that innocent kind of vibe.
Okay, that's totally fair. Yeah, Carla.
Carla would be being cautious and like investigating the area before she moves forward.
So, but would you have moved forward anymore, or would you be there as well?
She would be there right now. Yeah.
Okay. Kara is be right back.
I was gonna say it's almost 9:45.
Oh yeah. I was just gonna reveal why I made you stop.
Cliffhanger.
What if it was badgers?
No, it's not. All right. Well, you know what? You need to go soon. I get that, and Kara, we can move Kara when we return next time. But basically, what happens is as you get down there, Hydra, the joke becomes real, and you notice that those bushes are very much alive and strike out towards you, and one of them strikes out towards Sakar. But more than that, as you do that, this tree groans and seems to move and pull its own hands towards you. So, welcome to the first combat, which is the almighty Terrafall awakened bushes and awakened trees.
Good.
This is much nicer than what I did to my party when trees attacked them.
Oh, trust me, this is gonna go to not nice really quickly. But yes, since you mentioned the time, and I was gonna stop after one of these was triggered anyway, so that is where we're gonna stop. And you know what? For funsies, because I'm gonna make you roll it. Roll me your initiatives for this fight.
Yeah.
That's a real sad initiative for a +5.
That's a real good initiative for a -1.
That's true.
I don't know how hard I telegraphed this. He's not a dex fighter.
He's not a dex fighter.
It's okay. I am totally not a strength Templar.
110% not strength Templar. Let me roll for the bush and the trees.
Oh,
Sakar is not the Daniel build, so he is neither dex-based nor is he a battle master.
Good.
that's fair. I'm assuming you're the Yeet fighter.
I hope he eats.
I hope you're the Yeet fighter.
Oh, you know what kind of fighter
I
he
know.
is.
I just like being sick.
I mean, it's probably Cyanite, but you know, Yeet fighter is funny.
Oh, the trees suck at this as much as Sakar does.
Yeah. So I know that Kara is away at the moment, but because I'm aware that some people need to go, and I totally understand that.
I'm dying.
Because you're dying. So that's going to be where we end up today. We had a lot of really good.
I'm so sad. I want to continue.
I'm really happy about this.
I'm really happy with how a lot of the character interaction went. I'm liking the feel I'm getting off everyone's characters. Like I'm enjoying the way that the characters are bouncing off each other and interacting. I'm enjoying the fact that I've actually managed to let slip a few interesting little facts and tidbits that I didn't think I'd be able to get out there straight away. But I'm really happy that it is out there. But yeah, thank you very much, everyone. And I will cut the recording here. And we will return to the wonderfully dangerous world that is Galataya when we return next week.